I wish I'd known sooner that my home wasn't hard to manage because I'm lazy or bad at organizing. It's because most organizing advice is not made for ADHD brains. And so these are home organization hacks I wish someone had told me sooner. And hack number one is to organize for visibility instead of aesthetics. With ADHD, it's really important that you can see everything all the time so you don't have to walk into a room and think about where something is. If it's behind something or under something, you may forget that you put it there, and then you're wandering around your home trying to figure out where you left it. So instead, you want to make sure that your home actually works for you and does not hinder you. And when you have ADHD, you need to make things as easy as possible. And being able to see things all the time really easy is one of the things that can help you when you have ADHD. And hack number two, put things where you stop and not where they belong. For example, you walk in your door and every day you put your keys, your phone, your wallet on this counter in your home. You stop there and make sure you do that. And then instead of actually taking your wallet to buy your bed and your keys and hanging them up on the key ring, what you do is you designate that spot on your counter as a place you put those things all the time. It's called a landing pad or a launch pad. You take something to actually put there so that you can see it really easily as well too. And then when you have to go out your door, if you put everything on that spot, you know that you have that stuff, you know where it is, then you can go by, get to that spot and take that stuff and go out the door and continue about your day. This just makes it really easy to know where things are so you're not stuck looking around for something that you lost before you actually go out the door to wherever you need to go. And hack number three, fewer steps are better than systems that just make your home look organized. What I mean is that when you have to do something with ADHD, you want to take as few steps as possible to get the results you want. For example, instead of putting things in your drawer, what you want to do is get a bin for anything that you can put in a bin, and that way you just throw it in the bin so much easier. Or actually put hooks around your home instead of having to actually hang stuff up on a hanger. And if you're enjoying this video and getting value out of the content, then like the video and subscribe to the channel to see more. And hack number four, labels are actually supported for ADHD adults. What I mean is when I was a kid, my parents used to label everything so I would remember where things were. But as an ADHD adult, you have to kind of do the same thing because it's about, will you remember where things are if you have to go and figure out where something is just by going through your memory. You have a label on something, you come in, you look at the label, you know where things are, you know which places for which thing, and then you just label everything you can in your home to make it easier so that you don't really have to think about things when you are trying to find something. You look at the label, you know where that thing is. You look at the label, you know what's in that certain container. And you might have people that come in your home and say, why is everything labeled? That's kind of strange. Why in the world do you have labels everywhere on your home? But it doesn't matter. It's about making your home functional for you and what helps you. And hack number five, out of sight, out of mind needs a workaround. Most homes you walk into are designed to keep things hidden. Make sure they look organized, aesthetically pleasing to the eye. Instead, when you walk into an ADHD home, you want to make sure that you can see things all the time. It's easy to find stuff. For example, clear bins, clear containers, put stuff in there. You don't have to actually open the container to see what's inside. You look there, you see what's inside really easy because it is transparent. And something else that you can do is actually have a reset zone. Now, what this is a place in your home to where when you find something that's out of place, you take it and put it into a basket or container at that place. And then later, you come back, you take all that stuff out of the basket or bin, and then you take all that stuff and put it back to where it belongs in your home. This way, your home is going to be reset all the time to make sure it stays organized and make sure those places you have those things are easy to see so you can see everything in your home and things aren't behind something or hiding something under them. And hack number six, one messy space does not mean everything is failing. Sometimes we look at our room, look at our closet, they're messy. We've been trying to organize it for a couple of days, even a week, and we still haven't been able to do it. And so we feel like we failed. But that's not true because homes are lived in and things change. You might have things you needed today that you didn't need yesterday. And so you bought them and now they're in your home and now they're creating more items in your home. You may be rearranging your home and left something out and that's making your home more messy. But the good thing is that your home doesn't always have to be tidy. It just has to work for you. It just has to be functional for you. And that is what is really important. And hack number seven is to shrink the reset gap. So a lot of times with ADHD, it's good to actually break things down and make the steps smaller. For example, you want to make it much easier for you to reset rooms in your home. So instead of having one big reset zone, like I mentioned before, you can have a basket in every room. And then when you find things out of place in that room, you put it into the basket. And that way you go to that basket later and then you put that stuff in the correct place, whether it's in that room or you need to take it to another room to actually put it away. And so what you're doing in your ADHD home is you're actually doing micro resets as much as possible. So it makes it a lot easier to get the resets done. And so the goal here is to actually avoid having to do a big weekly clean. And hack number 8 is to organize by activity and not by category. Because a lot of times with ADHD, we think about tasks. Like, how can we complete the task? How can we organize our office supplies? How can we organize our cleaning supplies? Instead of organizing by, what do I need to pay my bills? What do I need to make coffee in the morning or even in the afternoon if you drink coffee in the afternoon? What do I need in that place to start the activity? The goal is to have everything you need for that activity in one place to make it easier for you to go there and start and complete that task instead of having to go look all around your home to find the things you actually need. And hack number 9, friction actually matters more than motivation. If something is just even slightly annoying to us, the ADHD brain will probably just avoid that thing altogether. So we don't want to actually be in that situation. So we want to remove the friction wherever we can. For example, instead of having just one phone charger in your home, have a phone charger in every room in your home so you always have access to one. So you're not looking for the phone charger if you have lost it or misplaced it somewhere. You know you can go to the next room and get a phone charger and charge your phone there. Or something else that you could do is have a trash can in every room as well. And that way, if you need a trash can, it's conveniently there and you don't have to walk all the way from one room to another room if you only have one trash can in your home or if it's located not in a convenient place. And hack number 10, limit choices to prevent shutdown. If you have too many different choices of things that you can look at and see and try to decide, you might get overwhelmed. You might get decision fatigue trying to figure out what you want to do or what thing you want to use during the day. So instead, limit the choices that you have. For example, how many plates do you need? How many bowls do you need? How many outfits do you need? Can you actually reduce the amount of those things to make it really easy for you to decide because you don't have that many? For example, for me, I have 4 different coffee mugs. That's it. I don't have any more. That way, when I want to get coffee, I pick one of these 4. Sometimes I feel like the black one. Sometimes I feel like the green one. Sometimes I feel like the white one. It just doesn't matter, but I only have those 4 choices. And so it makes it really easy for me to actually go grab one and make a cup of coffee really quickly. And so here's the point. Less stuff equals less decisions and less upkeep. And those are all good things when you have ADHD. And hack number 11, make temporary storage intentional. When you have an ADHD brain, you generally can just create piles just by accident. For example, you have laundry in your chair. I call it the laundry chair problem, where it just sits there for weeks and weeks and never gets folded, never gets put away. And so instead of trying to not make piles anywhere, you want to have approved piles that have a specific purpose, maybe in a container. For example, don't organize only move boxes. That is a pile, an approved pile. So you put it into a box and you move that from one place to the next place so you can organize it later. But now you know everything in that box actually is part of a doom box. And if you're working in an office, you may have piles in different containers. One, need decisions, or maybe current projects. And those piles you can go through later, but at least you have them contained in a container. And so what this boils down to is piles are not necessarily the problem. Uncontained piles are a big problem, because if you can contain them in a way that makes it easy for you to go back and organize them later and keep them some way so they're not just all random all over the place, then it can be a good thing to have in your ADHD home. And you're probably not as messy as you think you are. With ADHD, we process object permanence differently. And so what I mean is, when you put something under something or behind something, you may not even remember that it exists because that object is now not permanent anymore in your field of view. It's gone, it's hidden. You may not even think about it too much later. You may not think about it at all until you're trying to find it, and then you aren't going to remember where you put it. Now, this can be a few seconds, this could be minutes, this could be years, this could be hours. that you are just forgetting that thing exists. And so living in a home with ADHD, one of the best rules is make sure everything is visible all the time in your home. And hack number 12, build system for low energy days, because if it only works when you're motivated, then it's not really ADHD friendly. Some days you're gonna feel overstimulated. Some days you're gonna just feel tired. Sometimes you just are not gonna feel like doing anything. And so you wanna take that into account when you're trying to figure out what kind of system to use for organizing your home when you have ADHD. Sometimes it's just all about convenience, it's not about perfection. And sometimes it's all about baskets or bins instead of folding your clothes. It's whatever you can do to set up things that make it really easy for you to get through your low energy days, so that when you're not motivated, you can still keep your home organized. And I wish I knew sooner that my home didn't need fixing. The approach to organizing my home with ADHD needed fixing. And so you're not broken, you're not behind. You just are learning what actually works for your ADHD brain, and that's the way you have to organize your home. And here's something else I wish I knew sooner. I wish I knew sooner what kind of hacks I could use to make my home more ADHD friendly, or even my rooms more ADHD friendly. Actually, I have a playlist that gives you those videos and gives you those different hacks. When it comes up, just click into the playlist and then pick whatever video applies to you.